After dinner, boys and leaders always seem to gather around the fire ring to talk about the day's activities.
And then that's where we wound up.
No, actually,
we
no, we
paddled
paddled
around
around the island.
Uh-huh. Now tomorrow, we're going to start off and we'll head up to the end of the lake and we'll have a 20 rod portage. Nice easy one to start the day.
God, that is so
Then we're going to paddle into Spoon Lake, it looks like. And then we got a little bit of a big one here at 1:30 to go into the South Arm.
Oh my.
Then we're going to find a campsite to stay over all day Wednesday. And then we can just paddle up into these lakes anywhere around from there.
So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get here tomorrow.
Yep.
Find a campsite
And stay
and
there.
stay there all day Wednesday.
Yep.
As the sun sets, it seems natural to build a campfire. It's a wonderful time for sharing.
I hope you get to the cliffs and you can jump off those into the water. That's what I want to do.
More long portages?
Yeah.
Only two to learn. You also learned a little bit about reading a map today, didn't you?
Yeah.
You learned the basics, but now you had some real-time experience.
And there is always time for fishing. In the morning, the scouts roll out of the sleeping bags and some pack up personal gear while others are fixing breakfast. We packed our camping gear and cameras and left these young people to the rest of their trip. Meeting up with them again at their troop meeting in Medina, Ohio several months later. We joined in on a leaders meeting.
I understand that we finally got our tour permit for the Wind River trip.
We did indeed. We finalized some things last night at the meeting. Things seem to be going along well. We've got route selection pretty well underway. The kids are progressing pretty well through the workup trips.
I hope we have as successful a trip as we had last year up in the Boundary Waters with Williams and Hall up there.
You know, the guys up at Moose Lake, Williams and Hall, they've been fabulous to us over the years. The boys certainly learn a lot from them, right from the skill sessions that they teach on the dock, how to handle the canoes, paddling situations, all of those kinds of things. I think our boys really get some good insight when we go up and work with Blaine. All we need to take care of is the preparation before we get to camp. Once we arrive at the outfitters, everything is handled for us. They've taken care of our Canadian permits for those guys entering into Quetico. And the guys on the American side, all their permits are taken care of as well. Food, canoes, all of our gear, the outfitter supplies soup to nuts from A to Z. And everything is handled by the outfitters once we arrive. Till the minute we leave, lodging, parking of vehicles, everything is taken care of. Fishing licenses, there's no stone left unturned.
I know the boys like the first night when we get in there and they sit down with Blaine, start planning the trips. When Blaine get the map out and start explaining about all the fishing and all the great campsites and what you're going to see out there, and you just see all the kids' eyes just light up. Everything's quiet there at that time.
I think the young boys that we had in our group did a real good job of pulling their own weight, despite the fact it was their first high adventure. Enjoyed their trips. The 1-week trip was quite interesting, watching the boys come together and help each other on each portage, and just encourage each other along, because we did do quite a few, as they call them, rods up there, and for measuring the distance between portages, and it was interesting, the boys, how they added up each rod per day and found out just what they did in between each lake as they traveled from one point to the next.
Kids that hate math in school, but they're adding those rods up. You guys had a tough first day, too.
Yes. Yeah, the first day that we were out, it really opened my eyes, so I imagine it opened up the younger boys' eyes quite a bit, because I had never been up there before. So my experience was just as good as it was for those that we went. And we had sat down the first night at a campfire and talked about the day and what we accomplished. And we brought out the maps and looked at the different lakes that we had gone through that day, and the different portages that we had made. And it was really exciting for the boys to look at each thing individually and where they had started from and where they had got to that day, and then to look forward to the next day at where we're going to the next spot.
That's what the paycheck Boy Scouts is all about, you know, when you see that big smile on them kids after a nice day like that and you're around the campfire, you know, $1 million couldn't, buy them experiences for me when sitting around the campfire with the boys.
And we enjoyed all of the tales about the portages and the fishing and the eagles that they saw, and even the snapping turtles that came looking for fish on stringers. But we just don't have time to include all of those wonderful stories here. But the most fun for sure was talking with two of the boys with whom we traveled. Unfortunately, we only have time for a few of the wonderful experiences that they relived.
This day, those foot portages.
I remember the first day. The first day was weird.
Dead man walking the whole last portage. Fun. No, the portages though. I mean, the first portage, I thought I could do the heavy food pack and Maya in the canoe. Halfway through, I was up on the top of a rock and there goes the canoe. I'm like, I'm gone.
Oh, well, the first fish, it was a smallmouth bass. It was really small. It was about this big. And we were paddling up the big lake. I forget the name. But I was learning how to do the paddling and getting it. And all of a sudden, I feel this little tug. So I'm like, last time I had a fish, but it got away because I was reeling it too fast. So I pulled back, reeled slowly, and I landed it in the canoe. Conrad caught this lake pike.
No, northern pike. It was nice.
It was really nice.
Then the other group, I remember Aaron Billy's fish.
Aaron
that
Billy
lake trout.
he caught a lake trout, and it was a good
nice
26
fish.
inches.
It was nice and fat amounts.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
seeing that thing in the bottom of the canoe just laying there. It's like.
It was fun to watch him try to pull that in. We wound up paddling over to him because it took him that long to get it up from the bottom. And that rod was just bent over, and his dad was full of excitement, telling him, slow down, you don't want to lose it. But boy, when he landed that in the boat, that was the
How long did it
highlight
take
of the
him
day.
to fillet that thing though?
Oh, it was delicious eating.
You guys should have saved us some of that.
That layover day, we canoed down to those waterfalls, and
That
I
was
remember,
fun.
the
That's what I wanted to
whirlpools,
hear
the
about. What did you think?
whirlpools.
What did you think about those
The
waterfalls?
waterfalls is great. I climbed up almost to the top of them, then I just walked back because they were out there. They just.
Yeah.
Did anybody get to see a beaver?
Oh yeah, we saw two beavers.
Yeah.
They
Did
come
splat? Did you get to hear their tails hit the water?
No, they were coming around. What they're doing is we noticed the beaver
Oh,
dam
that's
jumping
right,
around
yeah.
behind us. So they were coming around. They were coming from where you guys are camping at, and they came around this corner. And I was looking out there. And I saw these two
Oh yeah.
streams of water coming this way, and they just come across and they come across right in front of us, and they
Yep.
came around the corner.
And
we
then
were
we
looking.
wanted to go cliff.
And I just couldn't resist asking them if they had enough fun to ever want to go again.
Did you guys have enough fun that you want to go again?
Oh, I'm definitely going
yeah.
back there again. That's a good place to go on. I'm doing 2 weeks.
Now that you've had the opportunity to experience firsthand the facilities and services that we have to offer, I think you'll agree with me that for your youth group, they are the best to be found anywhere.
Here at Williams & Hall, our main goal is for your youth to have a safe as well as an enjoyable experience.
We always know that when we send a group of youth into the Northwoods, they're going to have a great adventure. One of the things that we enjoy the most is when they return from their trip, being able to experience their adventures through their stories and their excitement. A moose and its calf, an eagle soaring, a river otter, a beaver swimming in the water, or beautiful sunset.
That's what the paycheck Boy Scouts is all about, when you see that big smile on them kids after a nice day like that and you're around the campfire, $1 million couldn't, buy them experiences for me when sitting around the campfire with the boys.